Hello. Thank you for listening to and watching You at Options. This episode, I have Johnny McCann from the very good band Rufus McBlack. They're from the Gulf Coast of Alabama. Beach boys, if you will. Lowercase b's, not like the band. But yeah, great talk with Johnny. He was up here a couple weeks ago for Furnace Fest. We talk about his nephew's first mosh pit experience at Furnace Fest. Great time. Yeah, we talk about growing up in South Alabama, making music and art as Alabamians, and what that looks like to the outside world. Yeah, great talk. They recently put out Digital Nothing is a single. Last year they put out Midnight Chupacabra, which is a full length. Go check it out. Very fun. I don't know how you would describe it. Like riffy, southern riffy beach music that is good. That's what I'm putting on it. That's the words I'm putting on it. But yeah, great talk with Johnny. Go check out Rufus McBlack at Rufus McBlack on Instagram. Yeah, go follow them. Go see them if you get a chance. Great talk. Go follow You at Options at You at Options. Yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy. Hello. Okay.
Hey.
Johnny.
Hi.
Thank you for meeting me at the house. How are you doing today?
Great.
It's Furnace Fest weekend. We got to chatting on the Instagrams and found out that you were going to come up here.
Yeah.
And
after months of trying to make it happen.
Back and forth. Well, the agents get the agents involved, and you get the agents involved, and it's just it's just a whole thing, you know. But yeah, we met up at the Furnace Fest yesterday. How was your first day at Furnace Fest?
Pretty amazing.
Yeah. What was one of the bands that you're like, I gotta fucking dive into them?
Well, I've been almost a lifelong fan of Poison the Well. They're huge for me. Misery Signals. And a pleasant surprise was Delta Hate.
Yeah.
Montgomery band. Alabama.
Yeah.
Holding it down.
Hell yeah.
Those were the three big ones for me.
Yeah, Delta Hate. That was the first time I've seen them.
Me too.
They play in Birmingham pretty regularly. But they're fucking cool. One thing I love, your nephew Finch is off screen here.
Yeah.
But I loved, he was like, I'm just going to go into the pit. Just like, he was like, I'm just going to go to the store.
Right.
Yeah, he's just like, I'll be back in a minute. But then he just came back with the shirt off all sweaty at the end of the set. And I was like, how was it? He's like, oh, it's incredible.
You don't get very many options down on the beach where we are.
It's true, yeah.
So
options
you got
for
the mosh pit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you got to go for it when you can get it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, Gulf Shores, what are we talking about?
Well, we're from Orange Beach.
Orange Beach, okay.
Yeah, but, we kind of move towards Pensacola when it comes to shows and stuff,
Sure. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I can't see a lot of, heavy bands coming to the wharf.
It's never happened.
Right.
I don't think. I mean, no heavy band has ever played there.
They had a Green Day.
Did they?
A couple years ago, yeah.
Okay. I didn't know about
that's
that.
That's probably, the punkiest thing they've had there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The lineup there sucks.
I'm not the biggest Jason Aldean head or whatever, but it's that sort of ilk that gets butts and seats down there.
Yep. Yep.
You know, not it's for somebody, not for me necessarily.
Yeah, me neither.
It's cool that you guys are able to go to Pensacola is popping back up again. Is like
ever since the handlebar opened.
Yeah, the new new version of the handlebar.
Yeah, but Pensacola has been a hub.
Sure.
You know, back in the day with Sluggos. Sluggos. My old band, the Manuscript Division, used to play Sluggos all the time.
Yeah,
and you know, the handlebar was kind of like out for a while.
Yeah,
and then they're back, new ownership.
Yeah, Rob Goodspeed and the folks that he has working it now is incredible. Like I remember, we played with your band Rufus McBlack there. For the listener and the watcher. And the first time stepping in there, is like, this is I recognize the building from the outside,
right?
But the inside is like
way different,
a whole new world.
Yeah,
you know, in a good way, and it's run like a venue should be run instead of how a venue shouldn't be run.
Right, like a bar with a guy that answers the phone and he'll book you a show. And you show up, and maybe he remembered it or not.
Yeah,
you know,
he might have an old calendar that he might have written down Rufus McBlack for Friday night.
Right.
But it's great there. It was funny. Well, funny now in retrospect, but at the time I was very not having fun. I backed up into the sound guy.
Oh,
you remember that?
Yeah, y'all got there a little late.
Yeah.
I guess you were probably in a hurry.
Yes.
You were parking.
I was trying to park.
And smash. It's the sound guy sound guys aren't always in the best mood.
Not in the best mood, which I understood. And I was like, because I ran into the handlebar and I was like going to every table being like, hey, do you have a white truck? Do you have a white truck? I even came up to you three. I was like, hey, do you guys have a white truck? Like, no. Like, fuck. And then I was like, I looked up at the sound guy. I was like, this is the only motherfucker left in here that I haven't asked. Yeah. It's so...
And that guy's usually not a good mood.
Yeah, and I was just like, man, what? I'm just going to let this... I fucked up, so I'm going to let this guy let me have it, which is fair. But, I gave him all my information, and, like, he texted me a week later, and he's like, man, I'm not filing a fucking insurance thing.
Was it bad?
It wasn't a big deal. Look. No, it's just like... I might have been going at 1 mile an hour when I backed into it, but still, I wasn't gonna,
Right. Yeah.
You gotta do the right thing every once in a while. But no, he was cool. He texted me. He's like, "Yeah, man, it was all good. I'm not gonna do an insurance claim," which is very, very kind of him.
Yeah.
And very cool.
Yeah.
But it sounds great in there. He's a good sound guy.
Yeah,
it sounded good.
He didn't fuck up your sound.
He didn't fuck up the sound, even though I backed into his fucking truck. Yeah. Very could I would have taken that too.
Yeah,
that's fine. I deserved it. That's fine. I fucked up. But yeah, how long has Rufus McBlack been a thing?
So we've been a band for about 3 years now.
Okay.
We've been playing shows for about 2 years.
Nice.
Yeah. We started like during or on the tail end of COVID.
Sure.
And I used to live in California. I moved back, and I wanted to be in a band with my old drummer from the Manuscript Division, which was a hardcore band.
Sure.
And he was like, all right, well, I met this guy, Rufus.
Yeah.
Right. So, and that was it. And like, my friend owns Big Beach Brewery in Gulf Shores.
Okay.
His parents own it. And he was like, well, I don't care if you guys have ever played or anything. I just want y'all to come play the brewery.
Sure.
So that was going to be our first show.
Yeah.
But we got there, and an oak tree took out the shit pipe. Like the roots went in.
Sure.
There's like literal shit everywhere. So we were going to call our band the Shit Stains.
Okay.
And but so we didn't play the show. The whole place was closed down.
Right.
So we went back to Clayton's house and had a
Ginger.
Yeah. And had like a rehearsal.
Sure.
And it was just magical.
Nice. Is Clayton the drummer?
Clayton's the drummer.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And
Rufus plays
bass.
Yeah.
And we were just like, holy shit.
We got a thing.
Yeah. And so we got together a couple times a week for about a year, and put some stuff together, and it, you know, turned out all right.
Yeah, yeah. I think, the three of you guys are pretty crazy, like talented separately. I'm not blowing smoke up any butts here, but the three of y'all together, I had listened to y'all before. We were setting up the show, and Jackie Giles, she was the one that's like, hit up Rufus McBlack if you want to do something in Pensacola. It's like, okay. And so I started listening to you guys on the old Spotify's, and
thank you.
Yeah. And I was just like, it's gonna be interesting, because you guys kind of like, it all sounds good together, it all works together, but you're different sounds on different songs. Is that fair?
Yeah.
What is there, when you guys are trying to write stuff, are you like, I got this groovy riff or whatever, versus thanks, Brett, like what?
It's interesting because like some of the stuff is like stuff that I wrote that I bring to the table.
Sure.
And then they fill it out. But then like the stuff that you can tell that is Rufus McBlack is all of us, like, you know, just random, like Clayton will just be like doing drum warm-ups or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll just be like, oh, do that again.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'll just do some guitar to it really quick, and that'll stick forever. And like Rufus will match that, or, you know, Rufus will do the same thing with Clayton. But it's all like pretty much bass and drum oriented.
Sure. Yeah.
For the stuff that's Rufus McBlack, and then I just kind of fill in the guitar stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I love writing to Rufus's bass lines.
That's a good music. That dude's a pretty good musician.
Yeah, he's really good.
Just, you know, and just hearing his story and talking about just being like a hired gun in Nashville, like you got to be like a fucker. You got to be able to, you got to be serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like when I come to the table with song ideas, it's always fun fleshing them out as a band.
Yeah. It's fun riffing in your own, like, whatever, practice room or your office or whatever, but the connection, not to get all hippy dippy, but the connection with everybody,
well, it's real.
It's it's a real thing. Yeah, it's like, so it's like,
I mean, if you're a musician, you know when
you're locked in with somebody. You know what that feeling is like, and you're just like,
that stank face comes on.
You get a little stinky face.
And everybody's like, what?
But it's like, I'm trying to find my way in this, it's not new, but in this modern, like, songwriting in collaboration of, like, okay, my buddy is in Chicago, and he's like, send me a thing. I'm like, I need to feel a connection. You know, it's tough to get a connection over just sending there's WAV files back and forth.
Yeah, there's a couple good bands that do it like that. I don't see how they do it.
Yeah, I don't know. That'd be tough to be like, we live on other sides of the country.
Like, I heard like The Sound of Animals Fighting. They do it like that. I heard. I don't know if that's true or not, but like, that just seems so crazy to me.
Right. That's like Anthony Green.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's old stuff, but like, you know.
Yeah, it's I don't know, maybe guys like that have just been like, that's been their like whole job, is just being a musician, and so they're like, I don't know, I'll fucking figure it out. You know? I don't know. It's it's tough because you got to have some sort of connection.
Probably a lot of editing too.
Yeah, too. How do you guys record live, or do you guys do like tracks?
So the only way we've ever recorded is live.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice. So, I mean, I'll overdub a guitar line or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah, but it's always been, you know, drums, bass, and guitar all at the same time, and then overdub vocals.
Where do you guys record?
So we've done a record. Well, we did an EP and a record in Foley, Alabama.
Okay, I've heard of it. Yeah.
At this old dude's house. Yeah. He has a studio. The only person around us with a studio.
Sure.
And he could run it.
Yeah.
And it was a process.
Sure.
He doesn't understand us or our music like at all.
Yeah.
So he's like, why would you do that?
Oh, he's like old school guy. Yeah.
It's like, you know, like if we go to like a blast beat part, he's like,
"Whoa, that's too many notes.
What is that?
Too much stuff going on for my liking." Yeah.
So then, like this last EP, Beachy, that we just put out, we went to this guy Starlin Browning in Pensacola.
Okay.
He also runs sound with Robert over at Handlebar.
Nice.
Yeah. So we met him at the Handlebar, and he was awesome to work with. Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys just put out an EP, or when was the...
just put an EP out this summer called Beachy's got 3 songs, and I think it's our best stuff so far.
Yeah, I think so. I was listening while y'all are coming over here. I was getting prepared a little bit. You know, I like to fly by the seat of my pants, but I like to have a little bit of preparation. But Digital Nothing is that on Beachy, or is that its own thing? Oh, okay. Yeah, I was listening to Digital Nothing. Yeah.
That's a fun one.
Yeah, that's good.
It's like a song that takes you on a journey, kind of.
Yeah, it's
like
cool.
Lots of different sections.
Yeah, and do you guys, when you're writing something like that, do you guys feel like, oh, we need to add another fucking riffy section, or is it just all kind of like just natural flow?
Yeah, that's one of those ones where Clayton was just like, you know, doing a thing on the drums, and I just matched it, you know, simple, just stuff on guitar, and it was just like kind of like a punk rock thing, just fast and in your face, and then like, you know, we'll just kind of play that and then move on to something that happens next, you know. It's like a jam in a way.
You guys, I was trying to describe you whenever we were getting ready to play that show. I was trying to describe you guys to people. I was like, they're kind of like jammy, like Fall of Troy riffs sometimes. I just didn't know how to describe you guys. I was just like, it's there's a lot going on. I don't want to put them in a box, you know.
It's like surf. I like came up with a term. It's called doom chill.
That's perfect for y'all. I love it.
Yeah, it's like, you know, we all surf.
Yeah,
we all grew up in like the beaches
area.
But like also it's swampy there.
Sure, yeah.
So you get a lot of that kind of like swamp rock country stuff.
Yeah, and
it comes out a little bit.
Yeah, I was listening to the full length a little bit, and there's something I was like, this sounds like fucking MC5, like Wayne Kramer, like fucking riff.
Yeah.
And, but like with y'all's own like you said, like swampiness to it. Like not in a I don't know. I think some people hear the term like swampy and they're like, oh, that's fucking like. But people that get it are like, you don't have to explain what like a swampy riff is to them. Yeah.
But then like being a fan of hardcore music, like that comes out too. You know, like we love breaking it down. And, you know, playing heavy riffs, but in our own way. Yeah,
I think you guys definitely have your own sound for sure, and like, it's tough for It's to me, and like you're saying, it sounds like it's just a natural progression that the three of you have together, instead of like, oh, we gotta be different guys or whatever, which I think it's for fans of music and musicians, it's easy to tell who's like, oh, we like try hard, like, oh, we gotta be different boys, you know. It's like, just fucking do your own thing, ring your own bell, and see what happens, you know. Yeah. So with Beachy out, are you guys writing new songs?
Yeah,
shows coming up, or what's the next thing?
So we've written 2 new songs since Beachy, which we haven't played out yet. You know, just they're still in the fleshing out phase. You know. Yeah. We played a bunch of shows in September. I think we played 5 shows in September. Nice. Yeah, we're just trying to book shows, and this is how we have fun. You know, meeting people and doing that kind of stuff. Like, we have music out, so it's like we're not really focusing on writing songs right now. Yeah. Even though we can't help it.
Yeah, you can't not write songs. Yeah, I get
it's
that.
Like anytime we get together, something happens.
Yeah, jam happens, and you're like, fuck, we need it. Somebody get your fucking iPhone out and get the notes memo, voice memo out.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
And some of them are just like goof songs.
Sure, yeah.
You know, but they're still fun to play. Maybe we'll play them live one day. But.
Yeah, you know, you know, you don't know what's going to come out of something.
Yeah.
And so it's just write out like everything, and just kind of like go back through and comb through a little bit. It's like, I was reading
Jeff Tweedy has this song from the Wilco guy. He's got this song.
Did you read his book?
It's like How to Write a Song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have you read that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was like,
yeah.
It's like such, when you like look, when you kind of step back from what he's saying, it's like, oh, this is fucking obvious. Just like,
Yeah.
you know, sit down and write for 20 minutes a day. You
Yeah.
know, that's all. You don't have to be like with your quill, like 16 hours, like grinding away, like Mozart or something weird.
Yeah.
But it's
That's like, I
yeah.
feel like a lot of songwriters are constantly jotting stuff down.
Yeah.
Or
notes
like,
apps.
Yeah. Notes apps or whatever, however you do it.
Yeah.
And as far as writing on guitar, like I always have a guitar available to me.
Yeah.
You know, just to sit down and play for 5 or 10 minutes, like while people are getting ready, like, you know, whatever, something happens there.
Yeah.
You know, you never know when
the inspiration will strike.
Yeah. Even if it's not an inspiration thing, it could be a happy accident.
Right.
You know, just like, you know, a pull off that you've never done before.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. One thing I also like is, you know, being a touring guy myself and like meeting all these people all over. It's always interesting to be like, oh, I'm from Alabama. Like whenever you're in another country or a different faraway state or whatever, just seeing like the reaction to, I'm sure you've experienced this as well.
I even go to the point of saying like Florida.
Sure.
You know,
right.
Because Alabama can spark off some negativity sometimes, or just like total cluelessness.
Yeah,
especially in another country. If you say Florida, they're like, "Oh, okay,
Disney World."
Yeah,
yeah.
It makes it just a lot easier.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Which also, for getting down to brass tacks, Florida is a fucking freak show too.
Yeah,
you know?
total freak show. Even more so, I'd say.
Yeah, I would I'd venture out to say that.
Yeah, but at least they know it's a real thing.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, Alabama, Canada?
Right.
No.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and it's just like I've even been asked like about like our internet and like bathroom situations.
Shoes.
I'm like, I'm just like, we got all that stuff down there.
Yeah.
I did go to high school.
I have teeth.
I can read. I have most of my teeth still. None of my baby teeth, unfortunately. Those are all gone.
Yeah.
It's funny going to a place where sometimes it'll be touted as a very progressive place, and then I bring up, oh, I'm from Alabama, and they're like, you're fucking, you know, all this negative connotation, like you were just saying. It's just like, no, I'm pretty. I feel like I'm pretty chill. Yeah.
I lived in California for a while, and like.
Where in California?
Carpinteria.
Is that north, south?
About 3 hours north of LA.
Okay.
About 45 minutes north from Ventura.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like almost Central Coast.
Okay.
And my friends there, you know, I would always just make the joke like, I'm from Alabama, I can't read.
Right. Yeah.
So like I wasn't held accountable for anything.
Well, we can't have Johnny do this. We can't.
I was just there to jam and surf.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah. Yeah, we can't. Oh, yeah. Johnny, can you take this to the post office? I don't know if I trust Johnny. I don't know if he's gonna. I don't know if that letter's getting to the post office. But yeah, it's just, you know, and so I'm glad there's I have a sense. I'm sure I'm not gonna speak for you, but I have this sense of pride whenever cool stuff pops off in Alabama.
Oh,
and I'm just like,
big time.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
We're not just a bunch of fucking idiots over here.
Yeah, and that's one thing about people from Alabama is like they are like that.
Yeah.
You know, because we're underdogs.
Yeah, for sure.
The underdog mentality.
Yeah, of like, we don't. Oh, they can play football. Maybe if somebody can play football down there, that's all that's coming out of Alabama.
Everything else is like
right. Yeah, like fucking education system, everything. We're usually not doing the best and stuff like that. But yeah, like you were saying, underdog mentality, and whenever people are doing cool stuff and get recognized for it out of Alabama, I think that's.
You get proud.
I get a little bit of pride. Like, my chest get puff up my chest a little bit. And so like even like so you guys doing cool stuff, and we're talking about Delta Hate earlier. Just like they're kind of in that world, that heavy world. They're kind of blowing up right now.
Yeah,
and so
which is awesome.
It's cool to see and from Montgomery,
Yeah.
which, even people in Alabama, if you're like,
Yeah,
they're from Montgomery, it's like, oh, okay.
They don't have a good rap.
No, it's not. There's not, like, just the city is for them. I'm painting with a broad brush, and I'm from Alabama, so I can. It's just a grimy spot, and not a lot. You don't hear of, like, musicians or bands, like, doing a lot of stuff out of there right now, or in the past 10 years,
first
20
band
years.
I've ever heard of from Montgomery.
Right.
It's Delta Hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm big on their team,
Me
and
too.
there's a lot of
Finch is too.
Finch off screen. Finch is down. Oh yeah, Delta Hate super fan in the pit yesterday. But yeah, it's like hearing that, and in Birmingham, like whenever I moved up to Birmingham from Mobile, I was like so shocked, or just pleasantly surprised that they're doing like shows like every night.
They are.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm just like, what the fuck? I didn't know Birmingham was popping off like that with like, and like, they get bigger acts, and they're also having like DIY touring come through here all the time.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, God, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a show with them.
Yeah.
Play our heavy stuff.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure we can get something sorted out.
Get them down to Pensacola.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be cool. Them at Handlebar would be sick.
Yeah, that would be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did that fucking System of a Down cover too, like off of like an old System of a Down song, like off the, like, I forgot what album, like the Sugar album, whatever album, like Sugar was
first
on.
First one, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know their discography, but yeah.
You're not a System head?
I am.
I'm just joking.
I listen to them a lot. But
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I don't fanboy out on a lot of stuff. So.
No. Yeah. But yeah, it's cool. There's a lot of cool stuff going on in Alabama right now.
Yep.
It's sick to see bands getting out and touring and kind of flying. Not even if just saying you're from Alabama. You don't even have to be like, Alabama, like with the Alabama flag out there, But yeah, yeah, it's great. And it's funny, like being in Birmingham, which is kind of like, I'm not a big political dude, but like the blue dot of Alabama. And so I was telling people like, y'all need to come down to like Alabama, come down to Birmingham, and like hang out. And they're like, we don't want to get like the Klan to come and attack us. I'm like,
it's not like that.
I don't think you're gonna see way more like Kamala Harris signs around us than any like rebel flag, anything. But it's just funny. It's people in not doing critical thinking, or not even, maybe that's too harsh. People just like hearing something and being like, oh well, Alabama's this way.
Right. Yeah, they need to get over that.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's a beautiful state, and the infrastructure here is really good too. Like surprisingly.
Them.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like with like,
as far as like roads go and stuff. I mean, living in California, and my dad's from New York. Their infrastructure is like,
oh yeah,
it gets used way more. But I guess it's terrible out there. It's like. And it's not so bad around here.
Yeah, even if you go over to like New Orleans, it's just a fucking streets are sinking in on themselves. And there's just shit everywhere. Yeah, love New Orleans though.
Yeah, I do too.
Grimy spot, but in a fun way.
Yeah, yep. I want to play a show there too.
Yeah,
I want to get, as far as Rufus McBlack goes, like we want to take it to the next level and like tour and do the thing, just try and build it up.
Yeah, it seems like you guys got a good base, and you guys are just
figuring it out,
building on that.
Yeah, we're totally DIY too.
Oh yeah,
100%. Yeah,
love that. Yeah. So what, like, toward like eastern U.S. and
I don't even know. Yeah. Just like it'd be fun to play at Birmingham.
Sure.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
I don't know, Panama City. Just. Even local tours, weekend stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Get out there more.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know. I feel like every time we play, it just gets better and better. And
that's how it happens, yeah.
Yeah, it's, if we keep on playing the same places over and over again, it'll, you can burn the local crowd
Sure,
out,
yeah. You shouldn't, you know, and once you guys start doing shit, you're gonna be like, let's just play Pensacola like once this year, maybe, or like whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Once you guys are like fucking hitting the road out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But one thing I've also enjoyed about the short time we've known each other is I think we have very similar like dry comedy.
Yeah.
Comedy likings.
Yeah.
What were some like pivotal like comedy shaping for you as like a kid or like
Ace
teenager?
Ventura was huge.
Yeah.
I was really into Caddyshack.
Yeah.
All the Rodney Dangerfield stuff.
Yeah. What was the Back to School? He does the diving board scene. It's obviously like a fucking 25-year-old fucking diver.
But so me and my brother really just riffed off each other big time.
Sure.
And he's actually pursuing stand-up comedy in LA. His name's Whitmer Thomas.
Okay.
And he's out there doing it. And we just would always just make each other laugh.
Yeah.
You know, just making faces in the mirror.
Sure.
And seeing what angles that we could take on a conversation or a joke or whatever. Who could get the weirdest or most out there?
Silliest. Yeah. That's I think having a brother, like I grew up with two brothers, and I'm the youngest, I'm the baby, and so I had to like I didn't feel, this wasn't like a conscious thing, but I think looking back, I'm just like, I gotta push my way to get attention or whatever.
Yeah,
and so I gotta
totally
be saying silly shit, and that just kind of like,
it's a total attention getter.
Yeah, but it was just you know, and now as we're adults, me and my brothers, we're it's growing up with brothers, it's like we fucking hate each other. At some points you're like fighting and just like, man, get the fuck away from that sort of stuff, which is a normal brother stuff.
Well, me and my brother had a unique dynamic because like our parents were like parents.
Sure.
So we were like taking care of each other.
Yeah.
Through everything, and we always just kind of stuck together. And
sure.
Yeah, we were always kind of like the comedy duo of the friend group. And
what's the age gap between
5 years?
5 years. Okay, that's me and my closest brother are 5 years too.
Yeah,
and so
it's a good gap.
Yeah, it's not too small where you guys are too alike, or like, and it's not too big where you guys can't relate to each other at all.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm even friends with his friend group, and he's friends with my friend group.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we all kind of mix together.
Yeah. And you keep this a similar type of people around you.
Yeah.
Just like click, like we're talking about musicians clicking. Like it's also like funniness clicking, and I know I can just fucking riff with this person, and like it's gonna be a silly time.
Yep.
And like I'm not gonna have to. We can't talk. We're all adults now, so serious stuff happens now more often than when we were 13 and whatever, grown up teenagers. But I think that's for myself. Speaking for myself, like let's put life shit in perspective, where it's like, fuck, I just want to be more silly than serious. There's already enough serious like life adult shit I gotta deal with. Right, so like outside of like my obligations, I just want to riff and be silly with my friends.
I love that too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always times when shit was getting real.
Sure. Yeah.
And
absolutely.
like I'd be making jokes and being lighthearted, and people are like, how could you be like this at a time like this? I'm like, I don't know. It's life's short. I mean, I get how deep shit is right now, but like there's still funny stuff. I always think of, there's that Tribe Called Quest line. It's like, I really don't know. I guess I laugh to keep from crying. And I'm just like, that's always in my brain. It's like, I mean, I love a good cry.
Oh no, you got to.
But like, and then it's time for laughing.
Right. Yeah. It's like, there was that, not to get too serious here, but there's that documentary about, that came out a couple years ago about like predominantly Jewish comedians who were like talking about having parents who were like Holocaust survivors and who were like very serious all the time, and they're like, oh, this is just how I coped with like my parents who went through this horrible thing.
Wow.
And like I'm trying to break them or like make them laugh. It's like, that's a tough job, making a Holocaust survivor laugh,
Yeah.
But like it's like, they had like Jerry Stiller and people like Sarah Silverman, people like that, who had like relatives that were affected by that stuff. And so
yeah, totally.
But
I haven't seen that.
it's pretty good. I'll have to
send it over.
I'll send it to you. I'll Google it. Get you the name. It's pretty good. But then it was also the same, or people like, how can you joke about stuff like this? And like to the comedians, like, and they're like, fuck, man, I can't just let it consume me and just like be like a shell of a person all the time.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Comedy's awesome.
Comedy's great.
And Rufus McBlack, Rufus and Clayton are comedians. Like
I could get that sense from them. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just so fun to get together and rehearse and write songs. It's just like always a hoot. You know? We're like friends first.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then band.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just a huge perk.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's like nobody's making, like, we're not fighting over huge record contracts.
No.
Nobody's making any money off this. So if you're not having your buds around you,
right,
like doing this stuff, like what the?
I don't even know how that is, like in the music industry where like people don't even know each other.
Yeah, I think that's like the like cutthroat businessy shit. Like I know.
But how often does that even work out?
Fuck, I guess they're like, man, the money's too fucking good for me not to do this thing. Like there's a good, I got it over there, the Ramones, On the Road is written by their manager, Monty Milnick, something like that. But anyways, there's a quote, like, they all hated each other, especially towards the end. They were all like not speaking, but they're like in a van, in an Econoline van, still touring in 1996 when they retired or whatever. And Johnny Ramone's quote in the book is like, yeah, man, I don't think the Yankees like each other every night, but they go out and play. Right. And it's like, I guess, man, I don't know. That'd be tough for me to, maybe, they were probably getting paid pretty decently for that time. When they were quitting or whatever. But it's still like, fuck, man, I don't want to hate every member of my band.
I don't see how that could happen. I think we're all just, at least on my end, I'm very forgiving.
Sure.
And easygoing.
I'm gonna have to do a separate episode each, like Clayton by himself and Rufus, and well, here Johnny was saying some things that I'm gonna have the quotes.
Yeah, don't release them. Yeah. Don't show it to him.
Shit. But yeah, were you a Kids in the Hall person?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and Living Color too. Yeah, it was more my thing. Yeah. But I loved Kids in the Hall too.
Yeah, that was like one of my comedy awakening moments. Like, I didn't watch it when it was like airing it, but on Comedy Central they
I'm trying to think of a episode. Was it the zoo or something where like they go to the zoo? I can't remember.
There's a lot of like,
I don't know, that one got me though.
But they're also, they're similar where it's like dry, it's a silly humor that nonsensical most of the time. It's like that shit is what drives me. That's what wakes me up in the morning, Johnny. But just riffing with your buds.
Yep.
Making some cool music, having fun. That's what it's about. Yeah. Getting to play shows. You might play to fucking 2 people and the sound person, but that's also a story.
That might be your best show.
Yeah. And that's also a fun story to be like, shit, we were in fucking Pumpkin Nut, Arkansas, and we played to the sound guy and his girlfriend who looked pissed off and didn't want to be there. Right. Yeah. And that's a fun story. Yep. And it's it's like everything is kind of like cutting your teeth, and you gotta play through the bad shows to get to the good ones.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And they happen, and like you know, for us, it's like we just look at it as like another rehearsal.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes we play our best when there's nobody there.
Sure. It's like an open jam.
Yeah. And then when there's a bunch of people there, we're like, we fuck up.
Get locked up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, that's you know. Yeah.
That's, I feel like, in a new band that hasn't played a lot,
Sure.
that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then you get through that.
Yeah, you gotta push through the. That's what's.
And our parts aren't that easy either. So like,
No.
like
you guys have some intricate parts. Yeah.
We've made the mistake of like having a couple too many beers before a show, and things just slow down a bit.
Slow down. Let's take this tempo down.
Yeah.
You turn around to Clayton. You're like, Clayton, let's slow it down a bit, brother. Yeah. Oh God, that's great. But yeah, it's you got to go through that shit.
Yeah.
Because if you know you don't, especially in touring DIY bands, if you don't have any adversity, then you're fucking doing something wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, that's even like Eddie Vedder has this quote also where he's like, we just fucking exploded whenever we came out. And so we never had like tough like tours. We always had like a bus and like shit. And he's like, I feel like I missed out on something.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
Like, I've never really had any kind of attention for any kind of music I did.
Sure.
So like coming out of like the garage into the tour bus is insane.
Pretty wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just, that was obviously great songs, incredible band.
Yeah.
But also a time and a place where like it was meant to explode like that.
Right.
After people were like, fuck, I'm tired of fucking Motley Crue and their hair and their makeup. And now we need some boys and some denim overcoats or whatever.
Oh, shit. Flannel shirts
and
some regular dudes.
Just you wear their they wear their legitimate Doc Martens, not their fashion Doc Martens and all that stuff. Well, yeah, man, we've been going for a minute.
Cool.
Do you have anything you want to promote or any closing sentiments or?
Yeah, just listen to Beachy. Yeah, listen to Rufus McBlack on Spotify. You're gonna like it.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah, what's the merch situation? We
have shirts.
Bandcamp.
No, we don't have anything online.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's happening though.
Okay.
So
we'll talk about.
The way we've done online
air.
sales is just Instagram messaging.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hell
you
yeah.
message us. We get your address. We send you a shirt. You send us money, or the other way around. I can't remember.
A businessman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
No,
so
we'll talk about this off air.
Okay.
We'll discuss this. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, man. But no, I'm stoked for y'all. Y'all are a cool band, and it's a cool sound for the area, and I think a lot of people are gonna pick up on it pretty soon.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
In my mind's eye, my vision. My vision board for Rufus McBlack. Can you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
Finch, can you see it in the off air? Can you see it? Yeah. Finch is saying he can see it. But yeah, Johnny. Any closing things? That's it. Listen to Rufus McBlack. Yeah.
Yeah, listen to Rufus McBlack.
Okay.
Support your local scene.
Very important.
I hope Furnace Fest goes on another year. We don't know.
I don't know.
They're saying it's the last.
I got to show you the sign. Can you see the sign? I got Sweet Brit to cross out the end is near and put the end is here.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be walking around with the sign again today.
Somebody start a new Furnace Fest.
Furnace Fest 2 Electric Boogaloo?
Yeah.
Do that?
Yeah,
well,
let's do it.
Okay. We'll do it, Johnny. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
But yeah, Johnny, you had options, but you decided to talk to me, and I appreciate it.
It was fun.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, man.